Hello, young and vintage friends alike. Today I want to talk about entertaining using vintage items. I'm planning on having a little birthday party luncheon for my friend, and everything on this table has been thrifted. I have a huge collection of mismatching floral plates. I think they're beautiful. I've picked up all of them from Goodwill, Salvation Army, and estate sales. I usually pay less than $2 a plate. And the great thing about it is that because they were used for special occasions, then they're not showing a lot of wear and tear. And you usually hand wash these. So they were taken care of, used rarely. And so you can usually pick them up without any flaws, without any chips. And no one else seems to want them. So they're cheaper than using paper plates. I've topped off all of the mismatching dinner plates with salad plates. So I'm using a couple of these that have birds on them. And then these, I picked up 4 of these, and I think that they're very pretty. We're very lucky because right now, the china cabinet part of thrift stores and garage sales and estate sales is going unnoticed. People tend to look for mid-century furniture or vintage clothes, but they're not going after the tableware. And so it is still priced incredibly low, and it's abundant. The tablecloth, I bought it in an estate sale, and it costs $5. It's handmade lace, and it's beautiful. It fits my table perfectly. I'm usually very forgiving of small stains or a few holes in tablecloths because I just figure I can strategically cover it with a vase or my elbow, which would be impolite, but so I'm also using silverware that I found at an estate sale. It's silver plate, it's very ornate, and I want to say that the entire set was $30. And it has everything in it. It's amazing. And the knives I got for $10, and they have this beautiful cream colored handle and an ornate piece right here. The drinking glasses I have on the table, I have some mismatching ones too, and I really don't mind using mismatching. I think it brings charm to your table. So I have these 2. They're very similar. They're both the hobnail style. And then one of my favorite things that I picked up, and this was from an estate sale, and these were $1 each. And they're etched coupes for champagne, but I'm going to use them for a little fruit salad. I don't know if you can see that. They're very pretty. And then also at every place setting, I have a different mismatching teacup. I have a crazy number of teacups. They're kept back here in this built-in cabinet. And I started collecting them probably in college. It got way worse during COVID because I was suddenly watching more TV, being stuck in the house. And I started watching the program Escape to the Chateau with Dick and Angel Strawbridge. And if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It's really good. In America, it's on the Peacock network. Dick and Angel bought a chateau, and they're using it for their wedding business. They have an incredible, much larger than mine, collection of teacups, and they serve champagne in the teacups. And I have an interesting and useless fact for you. Teacups were used in some of the drinking joints during Prohibition so that if suddenly police busted in, it looked like everyone was drinking tea rather than hooch. I also have these little chairs. They are place card holders, and I have some of them on the table just as decoration, and some of them I actually am using for place cards. And I find that always easy to do place cards, so it saves everybody the awkwardness of where they're going to sit. So that's my tip. And then I have these pretty pink napkins. And I got these at the Salvation Army. They were $6 for all of them. And I got 6. So $1 a piece. I have to tell you a few interesting dinner party stories. I used to have a lot of them and now not as many. So this luncheon I'm looking forward to. It will be fun. But back in the day, I would hold many of them, and I had 2 small kids. And so I would be frantically getting ready, like, when you clean the house because people are coming over. Well, I was doing that just before a dinner party, the day of. I was using a brush to clean a toilet, and some of the cleaner flicked up and went into my eye and burned the bejesus out of my eye, and actually ended up scratching my cornea. I didn't do anything about it until after the dinner party, and then I went to the emergency ward. So, probably not smart. Not smart at all. I mean, not probably, for sure not smart to do that. I tried washing it out, and that didn't do the trick. So, anyway, it did teach me a lesson, though, and that's not wearing safety glasses while you're cleaning a toilet. What it taught me is don't have your mouth open when you're cleaning a toilet, because if it's can flick up, with your mouth open, that's disgusting. So, but maybe you should wear safety glasses. I don't know. There's a dinner party that I'll never forget being invited to. It was at a multi-million-dollar house that was loaded with antiques and beautiful things. And we sat in the elegant dining room. And when dinner was served, it was served on paper plates with plastic silverware and plastic cups. While I was eating, I had a view of their china cabinet, this huge china cabinet that was loaded with china. And all I could think of was we weren't worthy of your china. Like we weren't special enough, this dinner party group, to warrant bringing out the china. We were just paper plates. At the end of the meal, the host went around with a big garbage can, and you were asked to just clear your plate into the garbage can. So I think that when you're entertaining like that and having a dinner party, it should feel special, and the people that are attending should feel special. When you're having a dinner party, you're making an effort and you want it to show in all your details. Now, people can entertain however they want, that's true. And paper plates are welcome at picnics and backyard barbecues and a children's party. But I think when you're having a dinner party, that should be elevated and you should be using your fine china. If it's not a special enough occasion, then what is? Another dinner party story I have for you is the time that I served orange flavored couscous with apricots in it. I had a Grand Marnier chicken served on a bed of cut oranges. And one of the guests informed me as we sat down to eat that he was allergic to oranges, much to my horror. So the only thing he could eat were the rolls and the salad. And I blame myself for that, because you should always ask your guests if there are any allergies or food aversions that you should be aware of. And that way you avoid the debacles that I had. We're lucky today to have so many grocery stores like Trader Joe's that sell beautiful flowers. You can get peonies, and roses are a dime a dozen. So you can create the most beautiful floral arrangements, and you use vintage thrifted vases. Also, it's very easy to pick up crystal or glass candlestick holders. And these tend to be 99 cents at Goodwill. You can find these also at estate sales. These look beautiful when they're all lit up down the center of the table. When I'm having a luncheon, like a birthday party, I like for my guests to go home with a party favor. And so what I did was I bought some dollhouse art, framed art, and I glued pin backs onto the back of them, and they're brooches. Thank you so much for watching. Wish me luck with my luncheon, and I'd love for you to leave me a comment about your dinner party tips and stories. And as always, keep eclecting. I'm planning on having a little birthday get-together. Oh! Kitty! Kitty, no!